Welcome in to Allen Hancock College. CJ Silas and Terry Veal bringing you all the play-by-play coverage of your Bulldog football team's 8th contest of the season, the 5th Northern League contest. The Santa Barbara Vaqueros in town, Terry, wearing their black pants with the red stripes and their white jerseys, red numbers, and red helmets. And the Bulldogs in their home blue jerseys with their gold helmets. The Bulldogs are 4-3 overall coming into the game, 3-1 in Northern League play, and the Vaqueros 3-4 overall and 1-3. Craig Meropoulos in his 17th season, he's been the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the quarterbacks coach, and Rick Aguilera for the Bulldogs in his first season as the head coach, but has spent some time here as an assistant. Thanks for being here, Terry Veal. I heard you're a weatherman.
Well, it is 63 degrees at game time. Wind is gusting out of the west-northwest at 17. So all of the kicking will be like my golf shots, and they'll be playing either a fade or a draw, one or the other.
Thank you so much for being here and joining me for this broadcast today. We will also be here for a home game next weekend against Antelope Valley that will be a 1 o'clock kick because of the darkness and the time change next week. I wanted to look, Terry, first before we get to game time at the Northern League leaders coming into the game. Will Doherty, he is the quarterback for the Vaqueros, is 4th in passing yards per game at 194.6 yards. This is my favorite part, by the way, of the pregame. It's when the Bulldogs do their haka. It is so much fun, and it's such a cool thing to watch with so many kids from American Samoa, the Polynesian Islands, and Hawaii. It is something that's become a tradition here for the Bulldogs, but really fired them up and brought in a different kind of team building and chemistry. It always interrupts me because I like to watch it. Also, passing touchdowns in the Northern League, 6th on the list in the top 10, Will Doherty with 8 touchdowns, and he's in 6th. And in 7th is the Bulldogs' own Jackson Clavel with 7 touchdowns. Rushing yards per game, 1st in the entire league, is the Bulldogs' own Caden Harris, 104.3 yards, averaging per game. Rushing touchdowns, he's also in the lead in the Northern League. He's in 1st place with 9 touchdowns on the ground this season. Tackles per game, Matt Croteau from Santa Barbara, he's 2nd with 8 tackles per game on average, and tied for 3rd place, Bulldogs' Mike Mills and Keyshawn Pua. And then in 2nd place, under sacks for Northern League leaders coming into today's game is Darion Prothro with 5 sacks on the season. The Bulldogs are pretty fired up after 3 straight wins in Northern League. 2 straight wins, actually 3. Moore Park on the road, home last weekend against Bakersfield, and a tough contest against Canyons last week. That makes the Bulldogs 3-1. You watched the coin toss?
I have the coin toss. The Bulldogs actually won the toss. They deferred to receive in the second half. So they'll be kicking off to Santa Barbara to start the game.
Doesn't it seem like that's just the way it happens now? If you win, I don't remember the last time I saw a team win the coin toss and take the kickoff.
I agree. Yeah,
it's just not, they don't do it anymore.
I think they prefer to start the second half
in control, really.
With a clean
slate.
Get
the momentum, yes. Coming into the game today, Craig Meropoulos, a lot of history here in local college football on the Central Coast. By the way, I don't know if you've ever been La Playa Stadium at Santa Barbara College.
I have not.
Oh my gosh, Terry Veal, it's distracting because you're sitting in the press box and you got the football field and track in front of you, but overlooking the ocean and all the sailboats.
Yeah.
It's easier to call the Santa Barbara game when they come up to Allen Hancock. It's a little windy, so we'll see what Aroth Acosta can do. Bulldogs moving from right to left to start this first quarter, and the Vaqueros from left to right. Kicks up. It's a nice kick for Acosta. Fielded just inside the 5. Terrence Beiser-Coleman, a defensive back, running back, the kickoff to start the game for the Vaqueros.
Brings the ball out to the 25-yard line to start the game.
Caden Harris is who we'll be talking about on offense for the Bulldogs. But for the Vaqueros, the running game is kind of spread out, but really the kid that gets the ball the most is Cameron Woolsey. He is from Mission Hills High School down in San Diego. He's got 231 yards coming into the game. We'll probably see him, as well as Will Doherty. He likes to throw the ball, the quarterback for the Vaqueros.
Well, and I think that's the key to this game, is to control that passing game.
In the shotgun, right away, gives it to Woolsey. It's going to be difficult for Doherty and his passing game, even though he has over 1,300 yards this season, 8 touchdowns. Because of the wind, it's going to change the game plan for Craig Meropolis.
And they're averaging about 225 yards a game, and the wind is going to play into that today.
3-yard gain on the play for the Vaqueros. Second and a long 7 or a short 8. It's tipped, incomplete. Doherty was looking for Cameron Green.
Somebody on the O-line got their
Yes.
hand up on that one. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 8. Ball spotted at the 29-yard line.
Doherty once again in the shotgun with one running back on the right with a halfback in the slot. Wants to pass, in trouble, moving to his left. And he finds a complete pass. It looks like it was Green. Green, 22 receptions this season, 2 touchdowns, 375 yards. The freshman from Avon High School in Naptown, Indiana. Both these schools have a lot of kids from outside of the state of California, which you don't see a lot at the community college level, but Santa Barbara and Hancock have a lot of kids from other states.
Why wouldn't you want to live here?
I know, right? It's a 4th and 4 for the Vaqueros, a high snap.
Oh,
Rolling punt
roll.
onto the Hancock side, but it rolls all the way inside the 25, even though it bounced inside the 40. A long Vaqueros roll, which puts the Bulldogs deep at their own 24 to start their first offensive possession after a 3-and-out. Good defense
Good way
for
to
the
start
Bulldogs.
for the defense on a 3-and-out.
Jackson Clavel, the sophomore at Ferris High School in Spokane, Washington. It's interesting that we're talking about Spokane a little bit today because Mark Rippon, who went to Washington State, it will be on the CJ Silas show next week, and Colton Thieker, who played at Hancock and at Cal Poly, is now playing
And
at
a
Washington
Royal
State.
Grande.
Yes. 1st and 10 from the 24. Clavel under center, gives it to Busby. Busby has nowhere to go. Busby, the sophomore at Desert Pines High School in Las Vegas, he has 281 yards coming in, but the main ball carrier the past few weeks, Caden Harris, also from Las Vegas, a different high school than Busby, Silverado High School. 66 carries coming into the game, 730 yards, and he's coming into the huddle after Busby gets 1 yard on that carry. Clavel will set up under center with Harris lined up straight behind him, and it's a pitch to Harris on the near side. He gets to the 25. Pushed out of bounds right around the 30 for a short gain.
Frederick Hunter made sure he was out of bounds for Santa Barbara. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Ball's at the 29-yard line.
Do you have the stats from Caden Harris from last week against Moore Park? Pretty awesome. It's a 3rd and 5. You place the ball at the 29. It'll be a 3rd and 6. Clavel on the right. And it's a complete pass to Petaway. Collins Petaway for the first Bulldog first down, the sophomore out of Richmond Hill High School. 1 touchdown this season, 7 receptions, 194 yards. He's also the holder on kicks. Collins Petaway. And they move in to Vaqueros territory, ball placed at the 43-yard line.
He was run out of bounds by Jamarius Bates.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. 3 plays, And now into Vaquero territory, 43. Harris gets it. He's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage, and he's tackled at the 48 for a loss.
Loss of 4 on that play. Bring up a 2nd and 14. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Vaqueros.
No score early in the first quarter. Bulldogs and Santa Barbara. That's a complete pass quickly to Elias Martinez, the local kid from Rigetti High School.
Yeah, that was a loss of a yard on that play. Bring up 3rd down and 15 from the 48. A little bit of a dying quail pass.
Ball's in the shotgun this time. Quick pass this time again to Martinez on the near side. He finds a hole. Not enough for a first down, but a nice push after he catches the ball diving inside the 40. What a nice run after the catch by the freshman Martinez.
Brought down by Terrence Beiser Coleman from Marin City, California.
It'll be a 4th and about 6. Ball is placed at the 38-yard line in Santa Barbara territory, and it looks like with 19 seconds on the play clock,
I think they're going to take
Bulldogs
an early
might
gamble.
go for it. Clavel in the shotgun, and there's a whistle. And it looks like timeout. Bulldogs, Hancock will take its first timeout of the first half. 9 minutes and 57 seconds. No score. We'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. After a timeout, it looks like the Bulldogs are going to go for it on a 4th and 5 from the 38. Clavel under center. And right away, he gives it to his star, Caden Harris, running down the sideline. And it's a touchdown. Caden Harris, 38-yard touchdown run for the freshman out of Las Vegas. Once again, Caden Harris is the one.
I think that caught Santa Barbara by surprise. I think they were expecting a pass and ran it around the corner and saw nothing but daylight.
Harris, his 10th touchdown of the season, 5'8", 175. Sometimes when I was watching him last week against Canyons, I had a little bit of a memory of Cameron Artis-Payne, who was a kid who came through Hancock, played at Auburn, and played for the Carolina Panthers. Aratha Costa in for the extra point, Petaway the holder. The kick is up, and it is good. Bulldogs get on the board first, 7-0. They lead it. We will take a quick timeout and bring it back, 7-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. A nice offensive series for the Bulldogs. Took 3 plays to get a first down, and then 3 more plays before going for it on a 4th. Caden Harris with a touchdown run. And an extra point by Arotha Costa. And looks like Caden Chan is going to run the ball out of, it looks like it's fell into the end zone. Caden Chan finds some room, and he's still going a few blocks from the special team that surprised everybody wearing blue. And from almost the goal line, Caden Chan, the sophomore out of Mountain View High School in Boise, Idaho, runs it all the way back to the Bulldog 44, putting the Vaqueros in dangerous field position to start off their second offensive series of the game. Doherty running the ball. Actually, that wasn't Doherty. We've got a new quarterback in the game. It's Damare Ward. The sophomore did not see any time at quarterback this year for the Vaqueros, but you never know. Sequoia High School grad, the sophomore out of Oxnard, running the ball, and now he's off the field. It looks like it was one play. Will Doherty now back on the field. So maybe something to shake up the Bulldog defense. Unexpected even up here.
They weren't looking for that.
No.
For that pass.
Especially since he's a wide receiver. It was a pass. Did I miss it? I thought he was running. Oh, thank you, Terry Veal, for not correcting me on the air. I love you for that. So Damare Ward was not the quarterback. You could just elbow me. I looked down for 1/2 second.
He pulled from that left end.
Thank you.
Pitched back and then came around to throw.
Oh my God! First mistake of my lifetime.
My
gosh, Terry Veal. I knew you were not expecting.
I'm not writing it down.
Please don't. 3rd and 7 for the Vaqueros. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Pass play, nearly intercepted.
Almost intercepted.
Yeah, Jatavius Franklin was nearby, but couldn't get a hold of it, and now it'll be a 4th.
And another 3 and out for Santa Barbara.
After such a great run back on the kickoff for the Vaqueros, almost nothing offensively, 3 yards, and it's now a 4th and 7 for Craig Meropolis' offense.
Brandon Bowers is the punter for Santa Barbara.
And Makai Puga back for the Bulldogs at the 10. And the punt is blocked. And the Bulldog looks like Keyshawn Pua picked it up at the 37-yard line. Pretty sure it was Pua.
Good pressure by the Bulldogs on that punt.
Pua was ready for it, too, on special teams. One of the defensive leaders for the Bulldogs picked up the block punt. And now the Bulldogs take over 1st and 10 from their own 39. It's been a year for Craig Meropolis. He's the 39-year coaching legend. They had their best season in a long time last year. Their most wins, their most points. 10 wins for the Vaqueros last year, 499 points. In a game, they had the most of the season, 86, and most rushing touchdowns last year, 42, but not looking good so far. And Caden Harris gets a nice block by Joey Garza, and another Bulldog first down. Caden Harris proving his worth for the Bulldogs.
Tackle on the play by Frederick Hunter well into the secondary, and he was about the last guy that could get him.
That was a 37-yard run, if I'm doing my math correctly, by Caden Harris. And now, just like that, the Bulldogs are at the Vaqueros 30. Clavel under center. Hands it to J.P. Luquetu.
Tackle by Tyrone McCoy. There's a reason.
And another first down, Terry.
Another first down. There's a reason that these guys are leading. Luquetu and Harris are leading. Harris with 104 yards average per game. He's well on his way to hitting that average again this year.
First and 10 now from the 15. The Bulldogs really strong to start out this game. In the past, it's been kind of a the theme was starting out slow, but the last few weeks, the Bulldogs are fired up and ready to play. This one is Allen, the ball carrier. Once again, Chris Dutra, the offensive coordinator and associate head coach, using his running game and all of his running backs. Allen, Harris, Luketu, Busby, all have touched the ball so far today.
Matt Crotu made that tackle and pulled his shoestring to drop him, or he'd have been in for another touchdown.
4-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 6. Harris back in. Clavel gives it to him, but they're waiting for him. They are waiting for him for a loss.
Well, it appears that the Bulldogs are capitalizing on the momentum that they've had from the last 3 games and just came into this game with the same mindset.
Back to the original line of scrimmage after the loss of about 4. Luketu coming in with the play. Wide receivers, Petaway and Martinez split. Clavel will be under center. This time play action to the right. He's in trouble, but he finds a little time. All alone, Joey Garza, but he can't get him the ball. That would have been an automatic 14-yard touchdown for Joey Garza, but it could have been a little bit of wind.
Yeah, there was a little bit of wind, and I think you could have caught that pass.
What are you trying to say, man? That I know how to play football?
Yes, you do.
More like roller derby is football without the ball. Yeah, next week I'll be running out of here for our final roller derby game of the year. 4th and 10. Aroth Acosta coming in for a field goal attempt. Kicks up.
32-yard attempt. And
no good.
Wide right.
No
he was
good.
Playing the wind.
Bulldogs hold on to a 7-0 lead with 6:29 remaining in the first quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock football. Terry Veal and C.J. Silas, the Vaqueros, with their 3rd offensive possession of the game so far, have had 2 3-and-outs.
And 2 3-and-outs, and there no gain on that play. There was a wall of Bulldogs.
Best play of the game for the Vaqueros so far was
gain of 3.
A long return. Joe Parker talking to his offensive line as the defense is on the field. Bulldogs up 7-0.
Here we are again, 3rd and 5.
Jordan Foy, Prince Borton, the running backs in, and it looks like Caden Chan is going to set up as a wide receiver on the near side with Leo Maraghi in the slot. Doherty from the shotgun, drops back, wants to pass, has a little time but not much. And I'm not really sure where he was throwing because his wide receiver, Easton Clements, was moving this way near the 40-yard line, and the ball was thrown right behind him.
Yeah, either way ahead of Chan or way behind Easton Clements. And that's the 3rd 3-and-out for Santa Barbara.
So glad you can count. That's so rad. Thank you. Terry Veal, I'm glad you're here, buddy.
CJ, I don't know where else I would rather be.
Well, it would be a little warmer.
Especially on a day like this. If I was on the golf course, I'd be hating life.
Yeah, but you'd be home watching football. There's a lot of good stuff on today. 5:04 remaining in the first. Bulldogs lead it 7-0. Punting team in. There is a flag on the play. Max Griffiths was set to punt. They've used quite a few punters and kickers this season. Brandon Bowers and Max Griffiths have punted. Then Hunter Simmons and Sean Stepnowski, who's not even on the roster anymore. So it looks like it'll be between Griffiths and Bowers when we're seeing who's going to punt. There is a flag on the play.
5-yard penalty for illegal procedure against Santa Barbara.
Thank you. Now it's a 4th and 10 back from the original line of scrimmage. Play clock's at 40, which is 25. Quick pooch punt.
Oh, and way out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 43. He was in trouble. That special teams line for the Vaqueros
Every
couldn't
single
hold the
time.
Bulldogs.
Every single time. The Bulldogs have been all over him. They're going to mark it at the 40-yard line.
That's weird. Oh, my gosh. Sometimes I wonder, but that's why I'm up here, and I'm not down there wearing black and white stripes. Though there is a female. Did you see that? We've got a woman. I think she's the line judge today. It's kind of cool and exciting. We're growing. We're evolving, Terryville. Bulldogs back in with another shot with good field position. 1st and 10 from the Vaqueros 40. Clavel hands it to Busby. Busby takes a nice spin move, keeps going, and almost enough for a first down, but dropped right around the 32.
And that O-line continues to open up holes that you could run a caterpillar through.
I want to give the O-line some credit, but I will say over the past few weeks it's improving. There have been problems, and it's definitely the chemistry is building. We're into league play. We're into the second half of the season, and the Bulldogs are really showing chemistry and experience. A gain of 8 for Busby, 2nd and 2. That's Masunu, the halfback, as the ball carrier. The sophomore out of Fa'asa'o Marist High School in Pago Pago, American Samoa. He's one of the leaders on this football offensive team.
And he put his head down, and that yardage that he gained was all him.
Ouch. Just under 4 minutes to play in the first. Bulldogs holding on to a 7-0 lead. 3rd and short. No wide receivers set up at the line. This is all Clavel and Harris. Harris cuts to the right, takes a turn, gets a first down, and look it, he might be into the end zone. Another touchdown for Caden Harris. 31 yards, but there is a flag on the play. No flag. It was a yellow shoe. Caden Harris' 2nd touchdown of the game, his 11th of the season. This one for 31 yards, a wide open lane after he took that right turn, passing the line of scrimmage, and a couple good blocks there as well. Aroth Acosta in for the extra point. Wind died down for a minute for him. Kicks up. And it's good. Bulldogs now lead at 14-0 with 3:27 remaining in the first quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College Football. Your Bulldogs with a 14-0 lead. Terry Veal joining me here in the booth. CJ Silas bringing you play-by-play coverage. Bulldogs and Vaqueros. Bulldogs looking for their 4th league win. And the kickoff bounces inside the 30. Picked up by Coleman. Runs all the way across the field. Jumps a couple Bulldogs. That kid does not give up. Terrence Beiser Coleman, 5'10", 175 yards. Drake High School, Marin City, California, 4 kick returns for 117 yards and a punt return for 39. And he hurdled at least 2 Bulldogs.
He looked like he had springs on his shoes. Just a sidebar, Acosta is now 33 for 33 in point afters.
So cool. Probably the best kicker we've seen come through Hancock since I've been here. 12 years, Terry Veal. Short run by David Smith. Gain of 5. Not as short as I thought.
Caleb McNeil Tyler.
Ball's at the 39. And the Vaqueros are still looking for their first down of the game. It's a 2nd and 5 with Doherty in the shotgun. This one, a quick pass. And it's complete to Green for a first down. The first down of Santa Barbara's day.
Darius Odom made the tackle, and that will be the longest gain of the day so far for Santa Barbara.
Darius Odom, Flomaton High School out of Florida. Flomaton High School, that's his 21st tackle of the season. He also has an interception. One of the leaders in that defensive backfield. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 44. Smith, the ball carrier.
Tackle on the play by Pua.
Pua's probably one of the toughest defenders for an offensive guy to bump into.
Well, there's a reason that he's leading in tackles.
Yes. A long line of football players in the Pua family. Also the son of former coach who passed away recently, Sandy Pua.
And that was a stone wall put up right in the middle by the Hancock Bulldogs. And another 3rd down.
Foy, the ball carrier, the freshman, Santa Margarita High School, Anaheim. 24 carries coming in. 43 carries, 196 yards, a couple touchdowns for the freshman. 3rd and 4. Doherty calling the plays, steps back. Play clock's under 10. He's going to pass, and it's deflected.
Batted down, I believe.
Darian Prothro.
Darian Prothro got his hand up and knocked that ball down.
Another 4th down for the Vaqueros.
Be interesting to see if Santa Barbara will pull the trigger here and go for it on 4th down.
Their offense is still on the field. Ball's at the 39-yard line. Let's see if they're going to try to pull the defense off sides with the play clock down at 10. Doherty looking for a pass play. Complete. And getting away from a few tackles, Caden Chan.
A couple of arm tackles there
Wow.
that did not work and will not usually work.
And he's not that big, 5'10", 180. But he found a little bit more yardage after the catch. He stayed on his feet.
Very quick pass out of the backfield, which they needed to have that play.
1st and 10, Vaqueros down by 14. First quarter closing out here. Play clock's at 12. Game clock's at 5 and one quick play. And that's going to be it. First quarter comes to an end. Bulldogs lead at 14-0. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College with a 1/4 of play in the books. Bulldogs lead at 14-0. And the Vaqueros as close to the end zone as they have been so far today. 2nd and 11. Foy, the ball carrier, didn't get much.
Darius Odom with the tackle. And again, he hit the middle, couldn't find a spot, moved to the outside, and met Darius Odom face to face.
Ah, thank you. Stats, Terry Veal.
Stats.
How cool is that? First quarter stats. Gain of 2. 3rd and 9 for Santa Barbara, looking for his first score of the game. And that's a complete pass to Chan. Chan seems to be the main weapon offensively today.
Tackled by Aaron Small Jr., and he found a seam on the inside.
Vaqueros.
And Doherty is a snappy passer.
Vaqueros are 3 and 4 coming in. 1 and 3 in Northern League play. And it's a first down and a goal. First and goal from the 2 for Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara had 21 total yards in that first quarter to Hancock's 126.
It's a pitch to Foy, running to the left. Tackled by Pua with a little help, but there is a flag. Aaron Small Jr. and Keyshawn Pua working together on that one.
Santa Barbara. That's a costly mistake inside the red zone.
That'll take him back.
Ball's just inside the 15-yard line.
First and goal. Along 13 yards to the goal line for the Vaqueros. In motion is Clements. And it's a complete pass to Chan. And then he's got 5 Bulldogs all around him. Aaron Small Jr. again.
Sean Pua had his arms wrapped around him, forced him back. They'll mark his forward motion.
Second and goal. Looks like it's from around the
3-yard
4-yard line.
Very
Pass
close to the goal line.
That one's Cameron Green. Cameron Green had 2 catches in the first quarter. Less than a yard. 3rd and 4 inches, 3rd and 5 inches.
1 football length.
There you go. Whoa.
Oh.
That did not look good, and it looked a little painful. Yeah, what do they call that push they've been talking about in the NFL? The tush push. Doherty didn't work. He kind of got bent when he jumped up. Did you see that? I'm surprised he's not hurt.
Yeah, and he had the ball over his head, which was
that's
a little dangerous. Yeah, wrong direction.
Now it is a 4th and goal from inside the 1, and it looks like Santa Barbara's going to go for it. They are literally inside the 1-yard line. Doherty, a pass play into the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Their first.
Ryan Gillum made made the catch for the Vaqueros.
Looks like there might be a flag on the play.
I see a flag in the end zone. The officials are having an official conversation, and he's waving
they
off the flag.
waved off the flag, and it's a touchdown for the Vaqueros. There were 2 flags. 2 flags waved off? Oh, wow. Usually if 2 officials see something, it means something happened. Yeah. No judgment, just curiosity. That's all. Brandon Bowers coming in for the extra point attempt. Kicks up, and it's good. 14-7, Bulldogs with the lead. 11:25 remaining in the first half. You're listening to Bulldog Football at athletics.hancockcollege.edu. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. A 1-yard touchdown catch by Jake Foy puts the Vaqueros on the board. The point after attempt made by Bowers. It's now 14-7. And Makai Puga fields the kickoff inside the 15. Doesn't have.
Yeah. And he ran into his own man. It didn't help him out on that play.
Keenan Stokes makes the tackle for Craig Meropoulos' special teams. Don Willis, the defensive coordinator for Santa Barbara, has an interesting story, Terry.
Yes.
Not only did he play at the University of Washington, but he played on that 1991 undefeated national championship team, but he went to Cabrillo High School in Lompoc. I knew you'd like that.
I do.
1st and 10, Bulldogs from their own 23. Willis played 8 years in the NFL. Pretty sure he was a head coach at Cabrillo as well, and then not long ago. Unless there's a Cabrillo somewhere in California, but I'm pretty sure it's Cabrillo.
I think it's Cabrillo.
I think I called it Cabrillo like 20 years ago when I first moved here, when I was doing morning
too,
radio with Jay Turner at Sunny Country, and he just looked at me and he shook his head. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's like La Jolla.
Oh, my gosh. 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. Petaway catches a pass at the 32.
Tyrone McCoy made the stop for
And that's a
Santa
Bulldog
Barbara.
first down. First and 10 Bulldogs from their own 34, leading 14-7. 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. Clavel gives it to Luquetu. Runs to the left side and runs into a little bit of traffic.
Luquetu, not the primary, one of the primary running backs, but he's still gaining 4 yards per carry. And he got his 4 yards right there.
It's just the way Dutra and Aguilar do it. It's just the way Bulldog football has been ever since I've been here. It's a 2 to 6 running back system. 2nd and 6. Harris. You notice the way Harris carries that ball? He's got it. He kind of has this in a little clutch on the left side of his body. I don't know if you noticed. Sort of like.
Well, it's all about the protection in that
Yep.
in that position.
Yeah. Oh, and he's limping off the field. That is not a good sign. He's sent straight to the bench.
He's going to
Caden
come
Harris.
back and have a seat on the bench, get a little attention from the trainer.
Yep. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 3 after his run. Clavel wants to pass. Incomplete.
Wide open.
Right off Colin Petaway's jersey. Caden Harris now getting assistance over to the trainer's table. And it brings up a 4th down for the Bulldogs. This is not something you want to see for Alan Hancock.
Unfortunately, Petaway was running before he had that ball because it hit him right in the shoulder pad.
Caden Harris is having his right foot looked at. Punt is up, bounces at the 33, rolls inside the 30, where the Vaqueros will take over. Ball's placed to the 26. Santa Barbara coming out onto the field. Trailing by 7. Doherty gives the ball to David Smith. Smith, 5'7", 185. That's almost
Jr.
me.
made the tackle. Almost into the secondary.
6-yard gain for Smith. Smith out of Garces Memorial High School in Bakersfield.
I grew up in Bakersfield. We used to hate playing Garces because they always had a good team.
Pass play. Complete on the far sideline for a Vaqueros 1st down. Damare Ward, the wide receiver, makes the catch. The kid that I mistakenly thought was playing quarterback earlier in the game.
It's all right. You're allowed one mistake.
That was it, and now he actually is the wide receiver. Flag on the play.
And
Against
it's a big one against Santa
the
Barbara.
Vaqueros, and that's walking them back. I didn't see the call. Did you see the call, Terry? I don't even know what that is.
It was a personal foul call against Santa Barbara.
Is that what it was? Thank you. That's why we have you here.
I'm glad to know why I'm here.
Well, listen, we think they did an orange signal none of us had really seen before.
Yeah. Anyway, the net result is it's 2nd and 20 from the 18.
Santa Barbara does not travel the way Bakersfield did 2 weeks ago. There was a lot of red in the stands last week. This one's a complete pass to Cameron Green. Looks like Nick Milton was the one that tackled him. Milton's a local kid,
And
the
another
freshman
3rd
out
down
of
for Santa
Napomo.
Barbara.
Third and long for the Vaqueros, trailing by 7 here with 6:35 remaining in the second quarter. fumble on the snap. Doherty's lucky he picked it up himself.
That is never going to end well when you have the quarterback have to pick the ball up in the backfield.
They recovered the fumble, but it makes it a 4th and very long. And here comes the punting team for Santa Barbara with Makai Puga back at the 42. Backstepping a little bit.
This punt will have a little bit of wind behind it.
It's the first punt that actually bounces at the 50, and then Puga lets it roll. And it rolls to the 31. There were just too many vaqueros nearby for him to pick that ball up. That was probably a smart move.
Yeah, that was a wise move on Mackay's.
It would have hurt. That would have been a painful punt return had he picked that one up.
Discretion being the better part of valor. He let that one roll.
Bulldogs offense comes in. Caden Harris getting his right ankle taped in the training area. So that was Busby on the carry.
And again, the O-line opened that hole up and let him make his 5-yard gain.
I think it was actually 6. They gave him a little extra.
6-yard gain.
He'll take it. He'll take it.
He stretched it out for a yard.
Yeah, Harris is getting his ankle taped. Luketu in the backfield. No wide receivers on the near side. 2nd and 4. Luketu takes a right turn, finds a hole, gets a first down, crosses midfield. Nice run by J.P. Luketu.
He was looking for that inside hole and found one around the corner.
It's a Bulldog first down. Busby brings in the play. Puga and Martinez split wide receivers. Ball's at the 46, 1st and 10, 4:33 remaining in this half. Busby gets hit with a little spin move, crosses the line of scrimmage, and maybe gets a yard, 2 if he's lucky. Yep, it's 2-yard gain.
Offensive line wasn't fooled on that one. They moved right with him. Didn't let him get outside like they've been able to do. And they're still working on Caden Harris's ankle over here.
2nd and 8. Clavel wants to pass. And the officials are saying it was incomplete because he was bobbling it when he went down. So that's an incomplete pass.
He was juggling that one on the way down and out of bounds. Caden Harris is back on the sideline. He's ready to go. Put me in, coach.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's standing right at the front, waiting for someone to give him a chance.
Put me in, coach.
Gain of, actually no gain on the incomplete pass, 3rd and 8. And there's a flag on the play on the delay of game. Timeout. Bulldogs taking their 2nd timeout of this half will take a timeout as well with 3:38 remaining in the first half. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Bulldogs using their second time out of this half. For some reason, the DJ played Village People again. I almost had a hernia. It's awful. 3rd and 8. Busby finds a little bit of room on the left. A spin move, still going, and it could be enough for a Bulldog first down. We got to see where he was pushed out of bounds on the far side.
Put a great spin move out there and gained another 3 or 4 yards.
Maybe it was the Village People. Maybe you were right. Maybe that's the Pump Me Up song of 2023.
Oh, they marked him out of bounds, short of the stick.
All right. Well, we can't see that far across the field.
4th and 2.
Maybe that's his theme song, and it just pumped him up to find a little hole on the left side.
I would say based on how the Bulldogs have been able to run against Santa Barbara, they're going to go for it.
They are. They're going for it on a 4th and short. Luketu finds a hole, gets the first down, still going. Tackled at the 15.
If he hadn't tripped, he would have been in the end zone. It just cost him that half a step. Levias Cody caught him only because he tripped.
And Ben Antoine helped him out on that tackle. J.P. Luketu, I thought he was going free, home free to the end zone. First and 10 Bulldogs on the 14. 2.5 minutes to go in the half and 1 timeout left for Hancock. It looks like they're going to use it right now. Bulldogs taking their last timeout of this half with 2:20 remaining. We'll take a quick timeout as well. Bulldogs lead at 14-7. The 1st and 10 from the Vaqueros 14. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com.
Told you.
Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. The DJ's talking back to me. He says the crowd wants the song. Luketu. Oh, that's hilarious. If the crowd's into it, I think it's okay. That was funny. I look down and I'm like, what? 3 straight times? It's because the crowd's like.
He's trying to keep the crowd involved.
And that is the DJ's job, to keep the crowd into it.
That is the DJ's job.
Yes. And he's doing a great job.
Read the crowd.
Yes.
And play on that.
It's red. It's red. Gain of 2 on the play on Luketu's run. 2nd and 8. Pitch to Busby. Oh. Busby's in trouble. And Busby gets taken down by his shoulder pads.
Matt Crotu sniffed that one out. You weren't going to fool him.
That's why Matt Crotu is 2nd in tackles per game in the Northern League. One of the leaders. Now, it's a 3rd and 12. Clock's ticking at 1 minute. Bulldogs probably want to try and get a score on the board before heading to the locker room for halftime. It's a floater into the end zone. Elias Martinez with a touchdown. What a play. It was hard to see from here. 17-yard touchdown catch by the freshman Elias Martinez, his first touchdown of the year.
You called that. It was a floater. He just threw it up and let him run underneath it.
Not a floaty, a floater.
A floater.
6'2", 185, Rigetti High School grad Elias Martinez with his first touchdown as a Bulldog. Under a minute to play in this half. Aratha Costa with the extra point, and it's no good. I think you jinxed him. You jinxed him. You jinxed him earlier.
I did it.
You
it's
did. It's all your fault.
It's my fault.
Bulldogs lead at 20-7. Just under a minute to play. We'll take a quick timeout. You're listening to Bulldog Football at AHCBulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Terry Veal and CJ Silas bringing you play-by-play coverage of the 8th game of the Bulldog football season. Fifth league game. And they're up 20-7. Aratha Costa with a kick. It's fielded at the 30 by Terrence Beiser Coleman. And the Vaqueros have all 3 timeouts remaining with just under a minute to play in the first half. What a nice catch by the freshman for that touchdown.
Over the shoulder and just about blind because the defender was all over him. Dropped it right in his hands.
I didn't see pass interference, but there was some contact. Here come the Vaqueros. They do have 3 timeouts. 1st and 10 from the 35. Doherty. Quick pass play, and it's complete at midfield for a Vaquero first down all the way to the Bulldog 30, Easton Clements.
And he hit the seam on that in between the deep safeties.
No huddle offense. This is not what the Bulldogs are great at covering.
No.
They didn't even have the sticks moved. Another pass play. This time on the near side.
Pass is incomplete.
Caden Chan is arguing his cause, but the official's not going to give it to him. 33.4 seconds left here in the first half.
And it was a couple of weeks ago when the Bulldogs were going against that hurry-up offense, and it really messed them up.
2nd and 10. 4 wide receivers, 3 on the far side, Chan on the near side, another one, and this time it's complete to Chan. He's pushed out of bounds by Nick Milton. And it looks like they're going to use their first time out of the first half. Vaqueros, 26.2 seconds, trailing 20-7, taking a timeout, and we'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to Bulldog Football at AHCBulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. The Bulldogs defense struggling a little bit against the no huddle. It's a 3rd and 5 for the Vaqueros. And they still have 2 timeouts left. Doherty in the shotgun. He's back. He's going to pass. He's got a little time. And he finds Foy, who's still running, and gets tackled by Odom, Darius Odom.
That was a prescribed play. He's looking deep, and he had that guy short with no coverage.
Another timeout used by the Vaqueros with 16.4 seconds remaining on the clock. It'll be a 1st and goal from the 5 when we come back. You're listening to AHCBulldogs.com. First and 10 from the 11 for the Vaqueros. 16.4 left in the half. They've got one timeout remaining.
Probably have one more play here.
Into the end zone.
And
All
wide
alone
open.
for the touchdown is Riles Buckley for the Vaqueros. An 11-yard touchdown catch. His second touchdown of the season. Hood River Valley High School. Buckley is a sophomore. Probably exactly what the Bulldogs didn't want to happen. I mean, that's just
and a
obvious.
wide open cross pattern right in front of the goalpost.
Extra points up. And it's good. So instead of going into the locker room leading 20-7, after a nice offensive series for the Vaqueros, Santa Barbara is only trailing by 6 in the first half. Where was the breakdown, Terry?
65-yard series, and it took 40 seconds with the 2 timeouts and the passes out of bounds.
The halftime meeting is going to be a little different than it was going to be 10 minutes ago.
Yes, it is.
We're talking about it right now on the sideline. Darian Prothero is very upset. Keyshawn Pua is not happy. The Bulldog defensive unit showing some frustration on the sideline. And the ball falls off the tee. That happens. If he wants, he can have a holder because of it, but he's going to put it back on the tee.
He gets a mulligan.
My life is a mulligan. I think this is Bowers with the kickoff. Fair catch for the Bulldogs. Jeff Simeon, the linebacker.
I never saw him call for a fair catch, but if you say so, I'll go with that.
You didn't see it? I saw the official call it, but I didn't see the Bulldog call it.
Which is kind of double jeopardy
That
because
is, yeah.
If I didn't see it and you didn't see it,
And he didn't see it, then maybe nobody saw it.
which leaves him wide open to get hammered. I think they'll be taking a knee here. Go back to the, and they do.
That's it for the first half. Bulldogs holding on to a 6-point lead, 20-14 over the visiting Vaqueros of Santa Barbara. We'll take a quick timeout. We will come back with your first half statistics. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. We want to thank the sponsors of Bulldog Athletics, California Electric Supply, Community Bank of Santa Maria, Mountain Ike's Pizza, Oxford Sweets, Coast Hills Credit Union, Mianette's Pizza, Cap Shack, and Home Motors Chevrolet. Thank you so much for your support of Bulldog Athletics. For Terry Veal, I'm CJ Silas. The Bulldogs lead it 20-14, heading into the second half of play. With a 20-7 lead, just less than, 2 minutes to go in the first half, the Vaqueros turned on their no-huddle offense, which did not go well with the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs started out strong in the first quarter, had a 39-yard run by Harris and another run by Harris, 64-yard plays and 40-yard plays, and entered the second quarter 14-0. And then Santa Barbara kind of caught up to what was going on, scored on a pass to Foy and a conversion point, and then with 56 seconds left, the Bulldogs scored, and in only 46 seconds of elapsed time, Santa Barbara came back and scored their second touchdown. And I don't know if having Jones on the sideline in the second quarter made a difference in the running for the Bulldogs, but the total yards by Allen Hancock, 248 to 167 to Santa Barbara. And the rushing yards dropped off quite a bit after Jones hurt his ankle. He is
Harris,
back on the
Caden
sideline.
Harris.
Sorry.
It's all right.
He is back on the sideline for the second half, so we hope to see him.
The possession time was almost equal. Santa Barbara for 14 minutes and 12 seconds. The Bulldogs, 15 minutes and 48 seconds. Penalties. Santa Barbara, 3 penalties, 30 yards. And if I'm reading right, the Bulldogs did not commit a penalty in the first half.
No penalties for the Bulldogs in the first half.
It's a miracle. That's crazy. At the community college level, that means defensively, and on the offense, that the Bulldogs are improving in a category that is tough sometimes. You get heated, you get hot, but the Bulldogs have really grown a chemistry this season. I've noticed it on the sidelines. I've noticed it in the huddles. I've noticed it in the pregame. I've noticed it in the postgame. And it's been fun to watch. Here we go with the beginning of the second half. Makai Puga gets it at the 10, crosses the 20 pretty quickly, still on his feet around the 30.
Bounced off of a couple of pretty good arm tackles.
Bulldogs won the kickoff, so they deferred, and here they are with the first possession of the second half. I walked by the room where the team has a meeting at halftime when I go inside to warm up a little bit, and I thought that I'd hear a little bit more yelling in the room, but I didn't. There's a lot of positive happen on that offensive side and the defensive side of the football for the Bulldogs that first half. There's Caden Harris, his first carry of the second half. He's got one of his ankles taped, but he looks like he's back. We'll see how effective he is this half after leaving the game in the second quarter for a little bit to get his ankle taped.
And he's coming off the field now.
Which is kind of how it goes. It's Luketu comes in and brings in a play.
Platoon those guys in and out.
Yeah. 2nd and 11. Clavel to Puga. It's completed the 30. He gets a first down and he's pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
Pushed out of bounds by Kerry Koyasha.
Bulldog first down.
Makai Puga just kind of waited on that little screen pass, was able to sidestep a couple of defenders.
First and 10 Bulldogs. Clavel from the shotgun. Gives it to Harris. He breaks one tackle and almost gets to midfield.
Matt Croteau made the tackle for Santa Barbara.
Five-yard gain on the play for the Bulldogs. Quick pass to Puga again. This time on the far sideline. He's on his feet, gets a first down and more.
Again, broke tackles, gained another 5 yards after the initial hit.
Into Vaqueros territory and another Bulldog first down.
And it seems like the chemistry is a little different with Caden Harris in there. I think it gives the defense another person to worry about.
The main person to worry about.
The main person.
He's got it
and
here.
Here he is.
They were waiting for him. Tackled by Matt Croteau. We know that. We've been saying his name a lot.
We know that number.
Yes.
Croteau out of New Jersey to Santa Barbara. I can't blame him for making that move.
Second and 8. Clavel. The ball's tipped, and it's intercepted by Santa Barbara, intended for Makai Puga. First interception of the game.
Ball was tipped. It became a tip drill.
Yeah.
And there were 3 Santa Barbara Vaqueros standing there.
Sometimes that could be a problem where they don't know the other one's there and they can fight over it. But
Yeah.
luckily, they
Yeah.
for them they knew who had it. And the Vaqueros come in, first possession of the second half. Going into the locker room, there was definitely a little momentum going in Santa Barbara's direction because of that late half touchdown. Second and 7. Doherty talking to his offense. Ryan Gillum moves over to the left side.
Ran into the back of his own guard, which probably helped the Bulldogs, but it's still a first down for the Vaqueros.
Foy, the runner. Coming into the game, the main ball carriers for the Vaqueros, Cameron Woolsey out of California, San Diego area, and Jake Foy out of Anaheim. It's a first down, Santa Barbara. Doherty, again looking to pass. He found an open receiver. Looks like it was Easton Clements.
Coverage by Aaron Small Jr., but he was wide open, and and the quarterback put it right into his arms, and we're back into the hurry-up offense. And it's all about momentum at this point.
1st and 10 now from the Bulldog 29. Foy again. Bulldogs lead at 20-14 as we begin the 3rd quarter of play. Hancock 4-3 on the season, 3-1 in Northern League, and the Vaqueros 3-4 overall, 1-3 in Northern League play. Doherty, another complete pass.
Little crossing pattern over the middle.
Clements again.
Underneath the coverage.
Another 1st down for Santa Barbara. As you mentioned, momentum is part of it, and right now, Santa Barbara looks like to be the one with it.
And they're in the red zone.
First and 10 from the 18. Another pass play. There's a flag on the play, but I'm noticing that Will Doherty's got some time when he drops back in the pocket.
And poise back there, too, because he had a lot of people coming at him. We'll see what the flag is.
Looks like it's going to be against the Bulldogs.
Holding called against the Bulldogs.
That's halfway to the goal line.
For a defensive holding call.
I think they moved it to the 9, right? Half the distance, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 9. Miragi and Chan on the near side. The wide receiver slipped on that one. It was meant for Cameron Green.
The pocket kind of collapsed on him on that one and made him hurry that just a little bit. Threw it short. Otherwise, the receiver was wide open in the end zone.
Second and goal. Looking over at the sideline for the play call. Play clock's at 5. Another pass play, this time into the back right corner. Good coverage. That was Jason Joseph. Starting to talk. A little bit of conversation between the two teams. That was nice coverage by Joseph. He's got 19 tackles and interception. Hahnville High School, 6'1", 200 from Luling, Louisiana.
Big play here at 3rd and goal.
Another pass play, same exact spot. This time a different receiver. It was Leo Miragi. Overthrew the wide receiver.
And a flag on the play.
And there's some more conversations after the play?
And I think this one may go against the Bulldogs as unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll wait for the call.
Personal foul against the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. I think they had a.
That's another half the distance, right? So it's first and goal from the 5.
Looks like maybe about the 7.
How do they decide that? You never know.
Scoreboard's calling it the 9.
That was before the penalty, I think. Either way, it's a first and goal. Another flag. There's a flag and
flag in the backfield of the Bulldogs.
After the flag, there was a late hit, I think, on the roughing the passer could be, right? I mean, it was already, the whistle had already been blown, and now false start against the offense. That's it? What was the other flag? Oh, gee. They got away with that.
And they'll march off 5 yards.
Looks like they have a new quarterback, number 1, Sean Smith, the sophomore. He's seen a little action this season. And he's in the shotgun with a back on each side. And it's a reverse with a wide receiver going to throw it to the quarterback. It was a very creative play. It just didn't work.
It was, and they were both a little confused about how hard to throw it and how hard they had to dive to get it. The pass was not very good.
The pass was, the thrower was Damare Ward, and Sean Smith, the quarterback that came in, is the one who ran to the right corner of the end zone.
A little razzle-dazzle by Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
not
a lot
razzle.
of razzle. Yeah, a little. I like razzles. It's delicious gum. Second and goal. Now Doherty's back in as the quarterback. Another play. This time, it's a dart to Green, and he can't hold on to it. Right off of his number.
Right off the numbers. Ball was right there.
Bounced right off his chest. Frustrated, he leaves the field, and Caden Chan comes back in.
He's going to go put some stickum on his hands.
Third and goal now.
Now, if I'm right, this is about the 7th or 8th play inside the red zone for Santa Barbara.
Doherty keeps it. And it doesn't look like he got into the end zone. It looks like there might have even been a fumble. It'll be a 4th down. Vaqueros kept the ball. And
That was a big hold for the Bulldogs.
We're going to have a field goal kicker come in. It's going to be Hunter Simmons. No, it's Brandon Bowers. Kicks up. And it's good. 20-17 is the score. Quite a bit of time used on the clock with 7:17 remaining in the third quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Bulldog football with 7:17 remaining in the third after a field goal by the Vaqueros. It's now 20-17. Makai Puga fields it at the goal line. He gets the 5, the 10, past the 20, still standing at about the 23. And there's a flag all the way out by where the kickoff.
And the testosterone is running a little high on the field right now.
Could be offsides. What was that? There was a really interesting signal by the official.
Offside was called against Santa Barbara.
They're going to re-kick it.
And I think they're going to kick it over again.
Puga had a decent run back, too.
They'll kick it from the 30-yard line this time. Gives Puga a little more room back there.
Do-over. It's Puga again. Bounces inside the 5. He
And
lets
that'll
it
be
go.
another flag. Ball bounced out of bounds.
Bulldogs have a long way to go to get into the end zone. It's a short, very small 20-17 lead. Well, it's just a little windy. It is. Yeah. It's so. I'm trying not to criticize the officials, but I'm not really sure always what they're trying to tell us. They're kicking it again. Another penalty on the kickoff.
Now, if I'm the kicker, I'm going to aim it way to the right and let the wind bring it back because he's kicked it way left both times. Now he's kicking off from the 25-yard line.
Good time to talk about the haunted house at the baseball stadium. Let's see, tonight and then one, I think also on Tuesday, they have a haunted house that's sort of haunted, and then a really haunted house. You can go to ahcbulldogs.com and find out more. Puga crosses the 30. He's got some room. He's at the 40. 3 times a charm for the Bulldogs. Makai Puga likes 3 chances.
Yep.
And that was his best run back yet, at least of the day. And they're placing the football at the 41-yard line. And the sideline is fired up for Alan Hancock, finally getting a chance to get their offense back on the field after 3 special teams penalties. Ferrari Busby. One of the officials is yelling at the ball kids, the kids that are getting the football and getting it back to him. He's having a little trouble getting his point across.
Gain of 4 by Busby.
Did you see that? It was an interesting little dialogue on the sideline. This time it's Harris. He breaks 1 tackle and then gets pushed out of bounds for a late hit on the Bulldogs sideline.
I think that's going to be a horse collar tackle. There's a flag on this side and a flag on the other side.
2 flags, different spots on the field. And there's definitely some yelling going on between the Vaqueros defense and the sideline. And now the striped shirts are meeting to decide which each flag means. It's going to be against one of them, at least one of them is going to be against Santa Barbara.
It may be offsetting because it may be a holding penalty on the far side.
Yeah. And then a what? The late
and
hit?
then a horse collar.
Yeah. It was in
holding
bounds,
on the Bulldogs. Personal foul
Personal
against.
foul.
So offsetting, they're going to just do that one over again.
Wow. Yeah, why does that happen, Terry, when there's one of the penalties is clearly worse than the other? How can they just offset them?
There's no gray.
No.
It's either they both got penalties and they just do a mulligan.
It's fired up both sides. 2nd and 6. Harris runs to the left and does not get much. I know that he seems like he's normal, right? He's not limping and he's taped up and he's not limping. Well, but Caden Harris is not performing the way he did in the first half, and it could be also defense is kind of onto him.
He tried to make the cut back inside. He does better when he can get around the corner rather than make that cut inside.
3rd and 4. Busby now in the backfield. 2 wide receivers on the near side. Rolling is Clavel, and it is a complete pass to Metaliki Tupo'u. Surprise, surprise, surprise. The first time his name's been called today.
And he surprised everybody. There's a flag in the Santa Barbara backfield.
And it's a Bulldog first down by the freshman out of Tafuna High School out of Pago Pago. 30 carries coming into the game, 2 touchdowns, 150 yards on the ground. Tupo'u, his first action of the day.
He must not have been on the game film that Santa Barbara had.
Sometimes this late into the game, you're not expecting somebody different. And it's first down for the Bulldogs. First and 10 from the 23. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. 5 minutes and change remaining in the 3rd quarter. Caden Harris alone in the backfield. He's cutting to the right. Misses 1 tackle, turns to the left. And it took 2 tacklers. Jack Myers, one of them, to take him down.
And again, he saw the outside was closed off, tried to make the cut back to the inside, and met 2 big Vaqueros.
1 yard gain on the play. 2 wide receivers on the far side. Petaway and Martinez with Busby. Now Clavel rolls to his left. And it looked like 2 wide receivers out there. One of them was completely being held onto by the DB. How did they miss that? Did you see that?
Yes.
That was awful. Where was that referee? Look at it. The official's right there.
Right in front of the official. And
that guy must be working for free.
He was wrapped up.
That's a volunteer official. You got to be kidding me.
Or a Santa Barbara official.
He missed that. I try not to think that. How did you miss that? So
right in front of him. 3rd down and 9.
His buddy's like, dude, how did you miss that? Talking to him on the far sideline. Incomplete pass, 3rd and long. play clocks are blinking, so nobody knows how much time's left on the play clock. And now it looks like the officials are going to have to meet. He's like, hey, the play clock's is down, and how'd that guy miss that play that call over there while we're talking about the play clocks? So now the play clocks are back up. They were flashing at 8. Could be, I don't know if this has anything to do with the wind, but it's really windy today. Okay, they're back. Play clocks are back. 3rd and 9. This one's caught by Martinez. Not much.
And a flag on the play.
He didn't gain much on that, and there's a flag on the. Maybe that's a do-over from the official that completely missed the defensive pass interference on the last play. You know that happens. Oops. Meeting on the far sideline to figure out what the flag is. Let's see what we got. They're calling off the flag. Oh, my gosh. So 4th and 6 for the Bulldogs, and it looks like Arotha Costa is going to come in and attempt the field goal. Actually, I think that Greg Pensom maybe was telling us about it a couple weeks ago, that there's a shortage of officials on the Central Coast right now, maybe everywhere.
37-yard attempt.
Kicks up. It's got the distance, but it looks like it was
he hooked
wide
it way
right. No good. With 3:33 remaining in the third quarter, you're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. A missed field goal attempt by Arotha Costa. And the Vaqueros get the ball. And first play from scrimmage is a pass play. And it's a touchdown for the Vaqueros, an 80-yard touchdown. Mitchell Northcutt, an 80-yard touchdown catch. First play from scrimmage, and the Vaqueros, with their first lead of the ball game, lead it 23-20. Extra point attempt is up, and it's good. With 3:19 remaining in the third, it's 24-20. Santa Barbara with its first lead of the ball game. You're listening to Allen Hancock Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. The Vaqueros on an 80-yard touchdown catch by freshman Mitchell Northcutt and an extra point by Brandon Bowers. Vaqueros now lead at 24-20. The defense is having a meeting on the sideline. Lots of expletives. Makai Puga fields the kickoff around the 5-yard line, drops it, and it rolls out of bounds. And the Bulldogs have a chance now, but a long way to go. You can tell they're quite dejected on the sideline, but there's a lot of football left to play. It's only the third quarter. So I'm not sure who are the ball people, like the ball boys on the sideline, but the officials are yelling at them because they continue to throw and toss the footballs badly
Yes.
to the officials. Have you
Yes.
noticed that?
Yes.
I don't usually notice that, but I keep hearing him yell, and he's not yelling at anyone. And then I see he's yelling at the two people that are supposed to be throwing the footballs. Could be the catcher, but that one was like 7 to 10 yards away from the official. At this point, you just got to get that football away from the goal line. That was Caden Harris. Just seems like a different Bulldog football team came out of the locker room.
Yes.
That played in that
and it's
first
again, all about momentum.
That first quarter, overpowering with 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out defensively and offensively with the big lead. And then that one touchdown right before the second quarter ended shifted things.
Luketu with about a yard gain brings up 3rd down and 8.
It's not going well right now offensively. Third and long from the 6. Still in kind of a danger zone when it comes to what you're going to do with the ball. You do not want a safety at this point. Clavel looking to pass. Deep pass looking for Petaway. And it's incomplete. What a defensive play by Terrence Beiser Coleman. Wow. It looked like Petaway was going to have it, and then all of a sudden Coleman got right in his face.
He was, and it was a
good
good play by Coleman.
The offensive coaching staff for the Bulldogs are in a in a thingy that goes up. It's like a crane because we don't have a press box here, so they have to be up on a crane to see the field and give the plays down to the sideline. And they insisted that there was a defensive penalty on that incompletion. And there's a timeout on the field. It looks like we will take a quick timeout as well. The Bulldogs now trail at 24-20. You're listening to AHCBulldogs.com. There was no timeout taken on the field. There was a quick injured Vaquero helped off the field. And we're back now on a 4th and 6 with Arotha-Costas in the end zone to punt the ball away.
Shadow of the goal post.
He gets a punt off nicely. Fielded right at the 40 by Caden Chan.
Best field position for Santa Barbara.
This is where the Bulldog defense needs to play the way it has the past few games and hold the way it did really in the first quarter.
Yep.
With 3 and outs.
Yep. Because they're at the 26-yard line to start this series.
It's already a 2-possession ball game, trailing 24-20. There is a lot of football to play, a minute and a half in this quarter and then one more quarter. Foy was the ball carrier. And Brody Tooker took him down. 2-yard gain on the play for the Vaqueros. The one thing about being a press box that's a little lower to the ground, we get to hear a lot of what goes on the sideline. We're not supposed to really.
Some of which you don't
We're
want to
not
hear.
supposed to tell the viewers. But Joe Parker had a lot to say to his offensive line, and basically what he's saying is everything that happened before now, get it out of your mind and get out there and play football. You got a lot of time. You're only down by 4.
A loss on the play and brings up a 3rd and 9. Ball squarely on the 25-yard line.
The defense is doing exactly what it needs to do to get their offense back on the field for the Bulldogs, with 24 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Doherty looks into the end zone or nearby. Cameron Green's the intended receiver. It's incomplete.
Darius Odom with the coverage for the Bulldogs.
Now it's a 4th and long for Santa Barbara.
And I don't think that their kicker has the foot for a 38-yard field goal.
But it looks like he's coming in anyway.
But I guess we're going to find out. What do I know?
A lot. Like the smartest guy in the room. Brandon Bowers coming in to attempt the field goal.
It will be a
kicks up. It's got the distance. And it's no good.
Wide left.
So now the Bulldogs have a chance now to do something with 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd and a full quarter of play. Let's see if what Joe Parker had to say on the sideline will do the Bulldog offense any good late in the game.
And a nice, long, sustained series here would help the defense a lot because they've been on the field for a long time in that 3rd quarter.
1st and 10. Bulldogs on their own 25. Probably get a play or two in before the 4th quarter begins. And Ferrari Busby runs into his own guy, gets around him. Ferrari Busby's 5'6", 180, and it's not easy to tackle him.
No, but he's got a lot of leg muscle, and he just keeps his feet moving.
It'll be a gain of 6 on the play. We'll take a quick timeout. That's 3 quarters of play in the books. The visiting Vaqueros of Santa Barbara lead the Bulldogs 24-20. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College with 3 quarters of play in the books. Bulldogs trail at 24-20, and they now have the ball with a 2nd and 3. Caden Harris back in the game carrying the ball after a nice run by Ferrari Busby to end the 3rd quarter. There's a lot of time left in this game, and the way that Joe Parker was talking to his offense, and I'm pretty sure it was George Heathers talking to the defense, the Bulldogs' attitude doesn't seem to be as dejected as it could. It's only 4 points, and there's a lot of football left. About a 4-yard gain on the play, 3rd and short. Now for Hancock. Clavel gives it to Busby, and Busby gets a Bulldog 1st down.
Give credit to the offensive line on that one for opening that hole.
First and 10, 2 wide receivers on the far side. Clavel, a quick pass to Tupo'u. Another first down for the Bulldogs, but there is a flag on the far side of the field. Metaliki Tupo'u. Another surprise play. Maybe
he
not for
split
them.
the defense on that coming out into that right short flat and was wide open for a perfect pass.
And it's holding against the offense. Oh, what a waste.
That'll negate that play.
Busby. Whoa. Busby got picked up off of his feet by the defender. Frederick Hunter literally picked him up off the ground, but it was enough for a Bulldog first down.
Emotions are running very high out on the field. There's a lot of things going on away from the ball between some of these players.
First and 10 from the Santa Barbara 45. Clavel. Caden Harris gets a little bit and a second leap forward.
And that time he was able to cut back inside.
Yeah.
Gain of 6 by Harris.
I noticed the defense has been pointing. I'm not really sure what they're doing, but it might be kind of a signal of success. Who knows? But the 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. A pass once again to Po'u. It's complete for a Bulldog first down.
Same play they ran a couple of plays ago. And he manages to split the defense and find a hole out there in the right flat.
Bulldogs fired up on offense now, another first down. Ball's on Santa Barbara's 31. Under center. Gives it to Harris. Not much room for Harris to move.
They definitely had a conversation about him in the halftime locker.
Santa Barbara, yes. Yeah. And he might not be 100%.
That's also true, because they put a lot of tape on that ankle.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Petaway on the far side, Martinez on the near side with Clavel under center. Gives it to Busby. Busby running to the near side, finds some room, and then gets pushed out of bounds by Tyrone McCoy. And it looks like it might be enough for another Bulldog first down.
He got a little bit of a high shiver on that push out of bounds.
Maybe not enough. The people that run the sticks are volunteers, just so you know. Same as the refs. I don't know. So it's not a first down, 3rd and 3.
Harris back in.
It is sometimes hard to see the sideline and the down markers because of how low we are, and the Bulldogs on the sideline block the numbers, the painted numbers on the field. There is a flag. We'll see what the call is. It's against the Vaqueros. 5-yard penalty offsides.
Be a first down.
Now they're moving the sticks. First and 10 from Santa Barbara 20. Bulldogs have been using the clock quite nicely in this quarter. Clavel, pass complete to Puga, right near the stick. Let's see if he used his footwork to get around that stick. It might not be enough.
And that was a great route by Puga. He ran right around the defender.
Puga's mostly been used for
Punt return. Kick
a lot of
returns.
special teams.
Yeah.
He had 13 catches coming into the game. And he didn't catch anything in the first half. And that was a nice play for an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 from the 12. Busby gets caught up by his feet by Jack Myers.
No gain on the play. Brings up a third down. Tripped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Eight minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the game. It's a 3rd and 2 for the Bulldogs, down by 4. Caden Harris finds a hole and a Bulldog first down.
And that's just the way they drew it on the chalkboard. Tackle and guard push in opposite directions and make a hole. All the little X's and O's were in the right spot on that one.
First and goal from the 6. This is a crucial play, a crucial set of downs for the offense. Busby makes a cut, cuts to the right and to the left.
Close.
And I've seen the players put up a touchdown signal, but I haven't seen an official. I don't
no
think it is.
shirts yet.
Probably a gain of about 5. Taking it right. Yep, it is right there. We had a camera on the goal line, but it broke. Usually we have a great view of the goal line right here in front of us. 2nd and goal from the 1. Caden Harris tries, does a double take, a double pump, and can't get in.
Touchdown.
What? Wow!
And that was all second effort.
Caden Harris with that second pump on the push. A 1-yard touchdown run.
All second
That was
effort on
hard to
Harris.
see from here, clearly. And it took a minute down there for them to make the decision, too. But Bulldogs with 6 points on the board. Now back in the lead, 26-24. And they used up nearly 10 minutes on the clock. You probably have it written down because that's what you're good at. Lots of things. That's one of the things.
Thank you.
Roth Acosta comes in for the extra point. I love watching a left-footed kicker. It's up, and it's good. Bulldogs now lead at 27-24. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College Bulldogs. A Keenan Harris 1-yard touchdown run puts the Bulldogs in the lead, 27-24. And on a trick play again, Visor Coleman throws it to Cameron Green, and Green is still running down the far sideline. Caden Chan.
98 yards.
So Coleman returned it, and then he threw it across the field to Caden Chan.
Back.
A lateral, but it looked like a pass to me, but
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
Hard to tell from
Yeah.
our angle.
Yes, it is, because we're a little lower. And, oh my goodness.
98
That
yards.
is a buzzkill. 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. What a pass. Or, I'm sorry, what a lateral by Terrence Visor Coleman. And now it's 30-27 Vaqueros. And the kick is up. And it's good. 31-27 on a shocking 98-yard touchdown run off of a kick off and lateral. I'm going to take a minute. I need a break. I gotta compute all this. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Hopefully you didn't go into the fridge to get a beer, because if you did, you missed a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by the Vaqueros. Ball was fielded at the 2 by Visor Coleman, and he lateraled it to Caden Chan for the 98-yard
flag on the play.
touchdown. And there is a flag on the kickoff.
And still a lot of emotion out there.
Well, there's got to be frustration. I mean, you just scored, got the lead back, and then a surprise trick play by Santa Barbara and Craig Meropoulos.
Keenan Stokes of the Vaqueros just pushed one of the Bulldogs down on his back, and I don't think anybody saw it. Holding was called against.
It was surprise. An official missed a call. You sure that he can hear me? Oh. It's against the Bulldogs.
If you're looking for a silver lining on that long 98-yard score by Santa Barbara with 6 minutes and 14 left on the clock, if they can put together another long offensive push.
Caden Harris, if anyone can do it, it's this kid. He finds a hole, crosses the 40. A nice run by Caden Harris, who we weren't even sure would get to play in the second half after he limped off the field with an ankle injury in the first half.
And he made a great cut back to the inside on that.
Caden Harris for a Bulldog first down.
Following up on that last thought, if they don't score too quickly, they can run the clock down and be up if they can put together a long offensive series.
Neither team's used a timeout this half. 1st and 10 Bulldogs from their own 43. Ferrari Busby finds a hole. He's running down the near sideline, crosses midfield, all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Ferrari Busby, what a run.
Good containment by the inside of the offensive line to let him get out around that corner.
A 37-yard run by the sophomore. First and 10 from the Vaqueros 20. Harris breaks one tackle, gets a little bit of help from, I think it was
Jack
Masuno.
Myers made a shoestring tackle on that because Harris had green in front of him if he hadn't have pulled his shoestring.
Five-yard gain on the play.
And if I'm a Bulldog coach, I'm going to say grind it out on the ground. Well, what do I know?
A quick pass play to A.J. Masuno.
Underthrown a little bit.
.347.
Caden Harris bringing the play in.
Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining in this second half. It's a third and a long 5. Harris running to the left, looks for a hole, finds one, and there's a flag.
Flag hit him right on top of the head. May have been a face mask.
There was some sportsmanship right there. Terrence Beiser Coleman went over to Caden Harris to slap his hand as Harris is walking over to the sideline. And that one's against Santa Barbara.
Call win against Santa Barbara. We're not sure.
It was a face mask?
It was a face mask.
Hey, that's what she said. .320 remaining. Both teams have 3 timeouts. Bulldogs trailing 31-27. A 4-point lead for Santa Barbara, and they are going to take their first time out of the second half. We'll take one as well. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com.
Remember?
Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Bulldogs down by 4 with first and goal from the 6 after the Vaqueros penalty. And there is Ferrari Busby into the end zone for a touchdown. Ferrari Busby, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bulldogs go up 33-31. Back and forth has been this fourth quarter against Santa Barbara. The Bulldogs not giving up. This second half has been back and forth between these two teams. And Right now, the Bulldogs are on top after the Aratha Costa missed extra point. It's now 33-31 with 3:10 remaining. You're listening to Bulldog Football at AHC, Bulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Bulldogs, the 6-yard touchdown run, but a missed extra point. It's a one-possession ball game now, leading the Vaqueros 33-31 in a Northern League battle. Beiser Coleman
Sideline emotions are running very high, and there goes a flag.
Coach Aguilera is fired up about something that happened on the sideline.
And I think that's going to be against the Bulldogs.
You heard them saying to each other, let him go, let him go. And then Rick Aguilera was fired up about something because he thinks one of the officials missed something, I think. Here comes the Vaquero offense with 3:04 on the clock and 3 timeouts for Bulldogs and 2 timeouts for Santa Barbara. And it's a 2-point ball game in an important Northern League game.
To their credit, the Bulldogs have put together 2 75-yard series.
And there's a complete pass to someone who was not even covered. That was Caden Chan again for another Vaquero first down with only 10 seconds or less used off the clock.
And he was wide open in that secondary.
The Bulldogs are 3-1 in league play. The Vaqueros 1-3 with 7 league contests this season. It's a new alignment. This is a crucial game. Intercepted by the Bulldogs. Intercepted by the Bulldogs. That was Trent Kimmel with a key interception. What a interception by Trent Kimmel, the sophomore. What a huge play.
And the sidelines are fired up, and that's what that last flag was about, was a sideline warning against the Bulldogs. No penalty, it was a sideline warning. But they are fired up now.
You see the coaches telling him to get back on the sideline, and here comes the official. The Bulldogs. What a play. Intercepting Will Doherty was
and
Trent
another
Kimmel.
Sideline flag. And it's going to be called against the bench again.
The officials are talking about what the infraction will be. One of them's coming over to talk to the coaching staff. Robbie Fukuhara, I think he might have just got kicked out of the game. Robbie Fukuhara, the defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, just got kicked out of the game. I don't think I've ever seen a coach get kicked out of a game. Brian Dill, have you ever seen a coach get kicked out of a game?
No.
Robbie Fukuhara, who usually has it together, the defensive coordinator, just got kicked out of the game. The athletic director, Kim Ensing, is walking towards him with a couple other athletic department staff members to try to get him off the field.
Yeah, they've got to
That
escort
is
him
not
off the
what you
field.
want to see at any level of football, a coach getting kicked out of a game. And he's usually pretty level-headed. Caden Harris. It was a 1st and 25 after the penalty against the Bulldogs.
The only thing I can say is it's got the Bulldogs fired up now.
Yeah, when you're up 33-31 with under 2 minutes to play, you definitely, after a huge interception, the last thing you want to do is let the heat
let the emotions
take you out.
Yep.
And that was the first time I have ever seen
and
the defensive coordinator
escorted off the premises.
Yeah. Wow. Busby got tied up by his ankles by Sean McGee.
And McGee was the only thing between him and the end zone.
Timeout on the field. It looks like the Vaqueros taking their second timeout of this half. We'll take a timeout as well. With 1:30 remaining in the game, the Bulldogs holding on to a 2-point lead, 33-31 over the Vaqueros. You're listening to Bulldog Football at AHCBulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Bulldogs with a 3rd and 20. Clavel gave it to Masunu. And there's definitely, you know how it gets at the end of a game.
A lot of emotion right now.
Yes.
Frustration on both sides.
I mean, even after the whistle, they still aren't ending the play. The Vaqueros used their last timeout of the second half with 1:23 left. The Bulldogs have a 2-point lead, 33-31. And let's see, the game is not over, Terry, and there is a lot of heat on this field.
Well, the Bulldogs are in a position where they may just go for this with 4th and 17. A punt's not going to do them any good, and I don't think a 43-yard field goal is in the books for error.
The official just came over to the sideline to make sure there's enough time on the clock. He put it at 1 minute, 24 seconds. Bulldogs still have 3 timeouts with a 2-point lead, and it's a 4th.
And they're going to go for it.
16. Whoever's running the scoreboard, I think they went home early. So 4th and 16. And there was movement on the Vaqueros sideline, on the Vaqueros side of the football.
Isaiah Abrigo jumped for the Vaqueros.
5-yard penalty, which brings out Aroth Acosta. Looks like he's going to attempt a 40-yard field goal?
Be about 41 yards.
41. And now The Bulldogs are going to take their first timeout of the second half. We'll take a timeout as well. With 1:24 remaining in the game, Bulldogs holding on 33-31 over the Vaqueros. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back. Bulldogs with a 2-point lead, and Aroth Acosta coming in to attempt a field goal. His longest of the season is 42.
And this one will be 41 if he can get it in.
And it is wide to the right. And now, with no timeouts and 1:18 remaining in the game, the Vaqueros get the ball back, trailing by 2, and they'll be at the 25-yard line. This is the
Bowers has a 30-yard field goal today.
First and 10. A quick pass play to Foy. But they don't have any timeouts, and the clock is still ticking. It's a 7-yard gain on the Jake Foy reception. Now, down the field looking for Caden Chan, incomplete. .8 seconds. Bulldogs have 2 timeouts. Vaqueros have none. Bulldogs up by 2. A crucial game here in the Northern League. And an important 53.8 seconds of defense for the Bulldogs. This one was intended for Damare Ward, incomplete.
And there's a flag in the backfield, and it may have something to do with roughing the passer. We'll see. He took a pretty good hit.
They stopped the clock, 49.7.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
That's a big penalty against the Bulldog
it's an automatic
defense.
First down.
It's going to be an automatic first down, 15 yards.
And a lot of that has to do with the amount of motion that's out there on the field right now.
The ball is going to be all the way out at the 46-yard line after the 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
Bulldogs
for the Vaqueros.
need to stay on the rails.
49.7 seconds remaining in the game. Incomplete pass intended for Chan. Second and 10 for the Vaqueros. Another pass play by Doherty. Another incomplete.
Keyshawn Pua was right in the quarterback's grill and may have made him unload that ball a little quicker than he wanted to.
Third and 10. Have not used even 10 seconds. Doherty complete down the far sideline for a first down. And they're going to have to stop the clock to move the sticks.
Darius Odom made the tackle for the Bulldogs. 32.3 left on the clock.
First and 10 from the 32. Clock will start as soon as he snaps the ball. Doherty, deep pass intended for Buckley, throws it over his head.
Trent Kimmel had the coverage. Ball was overthrown by 3 or 4 yards. Five seconds ticked off the clock.
Bulldogs come back home next week against Antelope Valley and then close out the season against El Camino. 7 league conference games this season. Second and 10. Another incomplete pass.
And Trent Kimmel is holding his head because he knows that ball was right in front of him and he could have caught it.
.8 left. 33-31 in a back and forth fourth quarter. Third and 10 for Doherty and the Vaquero offense. A quick pass, and it's incomplete. Intended for Cameron Green.
And again, Darius Odom was on him.
One more play. The quarterback got hit pretty hard. One more play. They're bringing in the field goal kicker. This will be a 46-yarder, 48-yarder? Kick is up. And it's wide right.
Short and wide right.
14.6 remaining. Bulldogs will take over. They better get back on the sideline. The game is not over. 14 seconds left. Bulldogs holding on to a 2-point lead.
And that was a little beyond Bauer's longest field goal. His longest field goal was 39 yards.
Clock is ticking. Looks like they're going to just let the clock tick down to nothing. And the Bulldogs lead and win 33-31 over the Vaqueros of Santa Barbara College. I don't think they're going to have a handshake line. Well, maybe they are. I never know. We're going to take a quick timeout and bring you back the game statistics. Bulldogs win it 33-31. You're listening to Bulldog Football at ahcbulldogs.com. Welcome back to Allen Hancock College. Bulldogs beat Santa Barbara 33-31. There was a partial handshake line at the end of the game. Half of the Bulldog team went to the south end zone, where the other half went through the handshake line with Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara showed up for the whole thing. And the Bulldogs will now be 5-3 overall, 4-1 in Northern League play. The Vaqueros fall to 3-5 overall and 1-4 in Northern League play. Do you have any statistics you'd like to share?
Well,
Terry Veal.
the statistics bear out the fact this was a very close game. Allen Hancock had 489 total yards. Santa Barbara had 448 yards. And Santa Barbara lived up to their passing team as far as how they get their yards. 304 of their yards came on passing and only 144 rushing. Allen Hancock had 334 yards on the ground and 155 in the air. Emotions played a lot in that fourth quarter, and there was a penalty against the sideline with what I believe, and I don't have any recollection of a coach getting
I have never seen it in my time.
kicked out of the game.
No, I have never seen a coach get kicked out of a Hancock football game. I don't think I've seen a coach get kicked out of a not live event football game. Maybe on a team. I can't even remember.
I have
Brian
no
Dill, have you ever
recollection.
seen a coach get kicked out? Steven, have you ever seen a coach get kicked out of a football game? When was it? Do you remember? At a college level, not high school. Ventura here against the Bulldogs. Maybe I wasn't here, or, my brain just can't remember it back that far. With
Well-
Robbie Fukuhara, the defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, getting kicked out of the game.
If it did anything, it fired up the team.
Yes.
And the defense did what they were supposed to do and held them. And it was a very, very close game.
Bulldogs win it 33-31. They'll be back in action at home right here at Allen Hancock College. Saturday, November 4th. It's an earlier kickoff because of the sunset. Antelope Valley will be in time. Kickoff at 1 o'clock Saturday the 4th, and then they'll close out the regular season at El Camino on November 11th, a 4 o'clock kickoff. You can always watch every game. Just go to ahcbulldogs.com. For Terry Veal, I'm CJ Silas. Thank you to our statisticians, our sports communications department, and, of course, the executive, the producer, and big boss, Brian Dill, for showing up. Once again, your Bulldogs win at 33-31. For Terry Veal, I'm CJ Silas. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next Saturday, November 4th at 4 o'clock at ahcbulldogs.com.